Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are a little bit late here, having some issues on a few different places here, having to sort some stuff out. Still dealing with the YouTube issues, but I believe we are up and now. Hopefully, everyone is good. But again, dealing with a few issues there, as it looks like we're going to dive right into a heat race number one. So let's go ahead and get down to the track as we'll go through your starting grid as quickly as we can. Looks like we're going to have Kenneth Payne, David Knowles here. We have a second David Kleiner with us, Jason McBride, Devin Thomas, Jed Barton here with us tonight as well as we have Ryan Nuss. Kyle Weinensberger, I believe that is correct. Stephen McMillan and Caleb Ramsey going to be here in heat race number one. We have 3 heat races and then some stacked B mains going to be coming your way as the green flag does come out, and we'll bring your main bar up onto the top of the screen here for heat race number one. Again, we apologize for the delay as having some technical issues we had to sort out with YouTube, but heat race number one underway. We got some good battling going on about midfield right now. We got Knowles, Nuss, and Barton all putting on a good little show for you about midfield, but we have a battle for the lead coming up as well. It's going to be that 33 machine of David Kleiner, and it looks like a connection issue for him as well. He's going to have to fight through that as this Kenneth Payne out front here with 6 laps to go in heat race number one here for the Mud Rebels Dirt League here live on LSR TV. Again, Payne, Kleiner out to front right now. It's really just Payne as Kleiner has slipped back just a little bit, hanging on to the position with a little bit of a connection issue himself. Devin Thompson in the number 5 machine, hanging on to 3rd place in that 3D. And we got some good looking paint jobs out here for these little 4-cylinder machines tonight, as David Knowles hanging on to 4th place. And 5th place right now, just got it, barely hanging on to it there, is the number 24 of Jed Barton. Barton we are quite familiar with, see him quite a bit. It's good to see him back here racing in these little bitty, again, I think they're actually 6-cylinders, but we're calling them 4-cylinders. Contact between the 93 of Knowles and the 24 of Barton, and it looks like it's going to be Barton that hangs on to the position. We go up to the front one more time as they have the 2 sticks, waving them in the air. 2 laps to go here for your race leader, Kenneth Payne. Payne on the move here tonight as he has got about a 3.5, maybe 4 car length lead over David Kleiner right now. So, of course, then you have 2 Davids, David and Knowles back and forth, and Devin Thompson in the 5th car in 3rd position. But Payne on his final lap, he goes into turn 3 and 4. This will be his last time around till the feature race, as he's going to be your race winner here in heat race number one. Kenneth Payne, driver of that number 2 machine, going into victory lane, virtually sort of here for heat race number one. He'll still have his work cut out for him in that feature race. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here with us tonight. Again, we are live on iRacing Live YouTube and Facebook as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in as we are just about set for heat race number 2 to come out on to the track. We'll see who all is going to be in this one. It looks like we're going to have Colton Kraspaski, I believe that is correct. Eddie Livingston, the Rockets, out here on the track in the number 46 machine. Tanner Folds out on the track. Brian Johnson, Robert Boggs, Jordan Hager, Michael Swank, sorry. Jacob Fields out here in the number 28 machine. Travis Olson and Hero Solman, I believe is right. We'll go by Solman is what we'll call him here tonight. And he is going to be driving that number 6 machine as we are just about ready to get this thing going, as we'll see the pace truck dive off here in just a moment. And getting confirmation that they are listed as a 4-cylinder on iRacing as well. Was not sure about that, if they were listed as 4 or 6. They are indeed listed as a 4-cylinder, similar to a USRA Tuner Series, and the green flag comes out one more time here for heat race number 2, 8 laps on the books. This is your second of 3 heat races, and they're sliding up the track just a little bit. Eddie Livingston, again, we talk about the Rocket himself in the third position. We'll see if he can rocket himself to the front. He's got to get by Tanner Folds and Colton Kapasky here as well. As right now it's Kapasky out front. Kapansky, actually, I believe is how you say it, out front leading this race. Michael Swank in that 27 machine, looking good with a new paint job on the machine as well, hanging in to the 4th position. I'll go back a little bit here. Jacob Fields, not used to seeing him behind the wheel of one of these, as he is wheeling it pretty good here in the 5th position as he just gets by Robert Boggs in the number 80 machine. They're 2 wide here, almost going to try to make it 3, but it doesn't quite work out. But we at least have a 2-way battle going on back there. Up at the front, nobody challenging that number 77 lap car going to be coming into the picture. That is, I believe, the 8 out there. That is Jordan Hager in that number 8 machine. He will go a lap down here in heat race number 2 as Krapowski is still hanging on to the lead as we come up on 3 laps to go. So far, really, nobody's been challenging for this lead, and nobody was challenging for the lead in heat race number 1. It'll be interesting to see how these 2 drivers fare and that 3rd driver fares in the actual feature race later on tonight. Will we see a good race between them, or will one of these dominate the race? That will be known here shortly. Right now, it is Colton Kapasky out front. Tanner Folds hanging in the second. A little blink there issue going on for your race leader with 1 lap to go. Tanner Folds doesn't have anything, I don't think, for your race leader in that 77 machine as he is on his white flag lap. He comes to the flag stand for the last time here tonight, and he will be your heat race winner here in, well, heat race number 2. So that'll do it. Colton Kapasky going to be your heat race 2 winner as we move on to your final 3rd heat race of the night. Heat race number 3 getting ready to come out on to the track as we'll drop down there with them. It is going to be in that 3D machine. It's going to be Christopher Carmen on his outside, Andrew Christensen in the number 19 Captain Crunch machine. And we have the rest of the field: Joey Dominguez, Bryson Banks, Stephen Masick Jr., Drew Phillips, Gary Schmid, Eric York, and Grayson Wells going to be rounding out your field here for heat race number 3. Again, this is your 3rd and final heat race of the night here for the Mud Rebels Dirt League. We'll see how it all plays out here in the end. It looks like the 3D of Christopher Carmen saying, let's go, pace truck, let's go. We got a race to do, as he's going to push that pace truck just a little bit. And again, we talked about last week, damage was not on. That is because they wanted these drivers to get used to the cars without just trashing them here early in the season. Tonight, damage is on. Caution laps don't count, as that is back in. Big shout out to iRacing.com for getting caution laps not counting back into the sim as of the update today. And we are racing contact being made in the back. And it's going to send a couple of cars spinning just a little bit. They gather back up and we go racing. And they're going to be 3 wide back here for about 4th position. That Captain Crunch car going to get a little crunching on it as he gets a tap from Drew Phillips in the 22 machine. The 51 of Bryson Banks just ahead of them, as that was some serious 3 wide racing action early on in this race. We'll have to keep tabs and see how that one all plays out, but definitely some good racing involved from everybody here tonight. Christopher Carmen in that 3D machine, though, out front leading the race. Behind him is Joey Dominguez. Dominguez in that 85 machine running down your race leader, Willie Ketchum, with that spray painted on 85 on there. Again, it doesn't matter what the car looks like. It just matters what you have under the hood. And here tonight, it looks like he has got something nice and powerful under the hood, as he is moving right along here tonight in heat race number 2, catching your race leader. We'll see if he can catch him as they come up on 3 laps to go, this time by the flag stand. Christopher Carmen out front. Dominguez catching him just a little bit. We'll see. Captain Crunch back there in the 19, hanging in the 5th place. Drew Phillips in 4th, and Bryson Banks rounding out your top 5 in 3rd place. Back to the front we go. It's going to be 2 sticks in the air, 2 to go for the 3D of Christopher Carmen. Carmen hanging on to the front, and we'll see just how he does in the feature race. It looks like he's setting himself up to move directly to that race. We want to remind everybody that your alphabet soup isn't much of an alphabet. It looks like straight B's for everybody on that report card. They're going to run stacked B's and take the top so many from each race. As right there, the white flag's out. Now the checkered flag is it's going to be the 3D of Christopher Carmen taking the win here in the final heat race of the night in heat race number 3. One of your B mains will be coming up next here in just a few moments. All right, again, this will say C main on the grid, but it is going to be B main number 1, followed by B main number 2. These are going to be 10-lap races here for both B mains. And in B main number 1, as we drop down to the track with them. And let's see, let's go to a different view if we have here. It is going to be David. Well, I guess if we click on the driver, that might help things too. It's going to be David Knowles, Drew Phillips, Jacob Fields, Jason McBride, Gary Smith, Robert Boggs, Caleb Ramsey, Grayson Wells, Travis Olson, and Stephen McMillan. Going to be here for your B main number 1. As we'll bring the sidebar up onto the screen. And then let us know we're experimenting with some new stuff. Got a brand new sidebar on the left side of your screen. That is how they start this race. We'll see how they finish. As your sidebar up onto the screen here for B main number 1. And definitely going to be a good race. It's been a good race all night so far. And expect nothing less than good racing from all these guys. The green flag comes out. 10 laps to go here in B main number 1. Both are going to be 10 laps. That is, it's going to be the 22 of Drew Phillips that takes the lead quickly as he's going to make quick work of David Knowles in the 93 machine. As you can see, the cars behind him right now riding on board with David Knowles on the back bumper. And it looks like Jacob Fields going to get by, and we got cars going around. Let's switch to a different view here so we can get a better view. I believe that was Jason McBride in the 70 that goes around sporting the LSR TV logo on that car. Unfortunately, he's going to have a little bit of damage and have some work to do if he wants to make it to the feature race. Drew Phillips out front. He's kind of checked out, but look at Knowles and Fields battling side by side. Fields, no stranger to being in the mix of things here as he puts on a good show for you. Side by side for second place. Again, that's Fields in the 28 and the 93 of Knowles. As it looks like Fields is going to hang on to the position. He goes into the corner. We go back to the 4th position. Caleb Ramsey and Robert Boggs. Contact made between the two. Is Ramsey going to hang on to the position, but he's got more contact and more company coming from Gary Smith in the 31. Can Ramsey hang on to 3rd position? We'll see. You can see the times there on the left side. 1.783 seconds, now 1.85 seconds, separating 1st and 2nd here at the moment. These guys are only doing about 80, maybe 90 miles an hour around this track. And so we have 4 laps to go. We're going to go a little further back in the field, a little too far back. There we go. To see Olson and Wells racing here, putting on a little show for you towards the back of the field. About 6th and 7th out of the 10 drivers, about mid to rear of the field. Out front, though, is, well, it was a smooth sailing. Now the 22 has a lap car 70 of Jason McBride, and he's going to make quick work of him, and he sails on here with 2 laps to go in B main number 1. Jacob Fields still with a little bit of a striking distance with a 93 of Knowles behind him, but so far not taking any advantage of that as we go back to front. Drew Phillips coming by, 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air for that 22 of Drew Phillips. We'll look to see just how he does in that feature race. He's going to be your race winner here in B main number 1 as the 22 of Drew Phillips. B main number 2, and this is your final, stuttering report card. It's not alphabet soup, it's just 2 B's. So obviously a good report card if you're getting straight B's, but that's what we have here tonight as we are on B main number 2 before a little bit of a warm-up. And then we'll move on to your 30-lap feature event. And in this B main is going to be Michael Swank, Jed Barton, Andrew Christensen, Brian Johnson, Ryan Nuss, Eric York, we have Iro Solomon, Kyle Weisenberger, Stephen Masick Jr., and Jordan Hager going to be your 10 drivers here for your second and final B main of the night here for the Mud Rebels Dirt League, live on LSR TV, YouTube, and Facebook page. We are just about ready to get this thing going. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're just straight on YouTube, straight on Facebook, or if you're watching on iRacing Live. We thank you for tuning in here tonight. It's been a terrific night of racing. We hope you enjoyed it as well, as we're just getting started. We still have that A main event coming up a little bit later tonight. Of course, little 4-cylinders, not something you see typically on iRacing on dirt. We are seeing them here tonight. Green flag is out. We'll bring your sidebar back up onto the screen so you can see exactly who is where. And they're already shaking up a little bit. Captain Crunch getting a little bit of contact back there. As I'm not sure who he's going to get into, but he got a door slam on somebody, and I believe that's going to be Kyle Weisenberger. No, he gets going around on his own there. That is going to be the 121 he got into of Brian Johnson. That'll push him back just a little bit from about 3rd to 8th place, so he'll lose quite a bit. Solomon in that 6 machine in a solid 2nd position. Already got some damage to the right side of that car, though, as Michael Swank out front. He is leading this one again. We saw that paint job prior to coming in here, looking absolutely amazing as always. Definitely a good-looking ride for him. Solomon trying to run him down. We'll see if he can catch him later on. Ryan and Nuss in that number 21 machine. And so far hasn't been able to catch that 2nd place driver. We'll see if he's able to run him down. But it looks like we're going to have a lap car coming into the picture. That is going to be the 762 of Kyle Weisenberger. He's going to be reeling him in, but he's going to get by him on the bottom side. As again, they start this track at 100% worn out. That's the only way these street cars can do it, is we got a caution out. And again, caution lap's not going to count. As we'll go back to Jordan Hager and see what happened here in the number 8 machine. Again, we talk about caution laps not counting anymore here in iRacing. That is gone. Now let's see what happened here to the 8 of Hager as he goes into the corner. He's battling with the 24, goes up, and then hard contact between the 24 and the 8. Both of them going for violent rides, and one of them landing in the pits. We didn't have far to go get some of that damage repaired. That being said, Michael Swank still your race leaders. We are under caution here tonight. Again, showing 4 laps to go. They say caution laps are not counting here, so that should stay right at 4 to go, unless that's only going to be counted in the feature. We'll see as the leaders come up to the line. And you see caution laps are going down. So the caution laps counting must only affect the actual A main feature event and not in this, or either they did not get turned on by mistake. We'll just have to clarify with race control if that is the issue. Again, the caution laps not counting a brand new feature in an update today. That was, again, a brand new feature, so that is why we're not sure how and what race it affects. Either way, the green flag is out, and we are racing again with 2 laps to go, as it's going to be Swank that has a huge advantage over the rest of the fields. He's going to get the white flag, 1 lap to go. Brian Johnson will sneak into second place, but it's going to be a little too late here if he wants to try to get the win in the B main. As there you see your race winner here in their B main is going to be the 27 of Michael Swank. All right, we're going to take a quick break here for just a moment. We will be right back with your A main event here in just under 3 minutes. As again, we're going to step away and make sure all is good, get the last minute stuff taken care of before we go A main racing for 30 laps here tonight at Lanier National Speedway. Again, we're live here for the Mud Rebels Dirt League on LSR TV. All right, I hope you have your snacks and have your drinks, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for your A main event here tonight. 23 cars going to be making the call for tonight's race. Let's drop down to your grid for tonight's race. As on pole here tonight, that is going to be the 2 of Kenneth Payne. On his outside, we'll see how much pain he gives him to try to get the lead. That is going to be the 77 of Colton Kraspaski. On row 2 is going to be the 3 of Christopher Carmen and the 33 of David Kleiner. Row 3 is going to be the 15 of Tanner Folds and the 85 of Joey Dominguez. Row 4 is going to be the 5 of Devin Thompson and the 46 of Eddie Livingston. Row 5 is going to be the 51 of Bryson Banks and the 22 of Drew Phillips. Row 6 is going to be the 27 of Michael Swank and the 28 of Jacob Fields. Row 7 is going to be the 121 of Brian Johnson and the 93 of David Knowles. Row 8 is going to be the 21 of Ryan Nuss and the 13 of Caleb Ramsey. Row 9 is going to be the 89 of Eric York and the 31 of Gary Smith. Row 10 is going to be the 988 of Stephen Masick Jr. and the 59 of Grayson Wells. Row 10, the 19 of Andrew Christensen and the 79 of Travis Olson. And rounding out your field in row 12 as we go green is going to be Iro Solomon in that 6 machine. That'll do it for your grid here tonight. Let's bring your top bar up onto the screen as we're racing here in the A main 40 laps. Sorry, not 30. As this is a shorter track, so they're running 40 laps. It's going to be Payne and Kraspaski out front right now. That 77 machine going to try to dive in. We'll see if caution laps are officially not being counted. And we're going to make contact. A little bit of rubbing, but rubbing's racing as the 77 of Colton Kraspaski takes the race lead. But can he hang on to it is the question. As Kenneth Payne right there, trying to be a pain in his hindquarters if he can and make him earn this win here tonight in that number 2 machine. We'll see. He ties it down to the inside. Not quite enough. The 77 shuts the door. We go back just a little bit. We got a side-by-side battle going on between the 3 and the 15 of Carmen and Folds. Looks like Tanner Folds is going to take the position from that 3D machine of Carmen. Carmen going to have to fight just a little bit harder if he wants to gain that spot back. We go back. We got them 2 and 3 wide. The 85, the 51, and the 27. That is going to be Dominguez, Banks, and Swank all battling for one position. That is a top 5 position. Actually currently being held by Devin Thompson, just 1 spot ahead. Contact, little beating and banging there from the 85. That is 85 Dominguez. He's going to give a shot to the side of the car to Dominguez. And we will go. And that was Banks he was actually hitting. As the caution is out, it looks like it's going to be back here for Captain Crunch. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here on lap number 6. As a heavy contact, of course, to the front end of that Captain Crunch machine, number 19. I'm not sure what officially happened. That's what we're about to find out here in the replay. And right there, actually the 6, and not sure who that is in front of him, making contact, and he just gets collected as an innocent bystander in the mix. Getting a little shuffling going around. It looks like caution laps are not going to count here in the main event. That is good. And it looks like after a little shuffling around there, something going on with the scoring tower. It is going to be Colton still out front leading this thing. Again, some funky issues going on with the scoring tower here tonight. Other than that, it's been some good racing. Caution number 1 is going to be coming out, or did come out anyway. For your Interstate Synthetics caution number 1. One different lead change. That was at the start of the race. And, of course, it has pretty much stayed that way. We're about to find out how it's going to go. We got the 77 of Colton Kraspaski on the inside, and that is going to be the 2 on the outside. We'll see how this plays out with Kenneth Payne on the outside. And that 77 of Kraspaski on the inside as we're just about ready to take the green flag. Pace truck going to be diving off. And green flag's out. We are racing one more time here, ladies and gentlemen. How is it all going to play out? Eddie Livingston, we talked about the rocket there. He's a little further back in this field. We'll check in back there in a moment as we got a herd of cars right here at the front. That is going to be Payne, Folds, Banks, Swank, Dominguez, Phillips, Johnson all getting kind of tangled in here together. Contact being made between the 3 and the 51 as we're going to go 3 wide and shove the 27. Michael Swank into the outside wall. Just ran out of real estate here at Lanier. It's small. There's not a lot of room to get around. And he gets shuffled back about 2 spots as the caution comes out one more time for Christopher Carmen in the 3D. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm not sure. He gets him to the outside wall in turn 4. Coming into turn number 1. Did he get turned is the question. A little contact between him and I believe that's the 8 back there, the 13. I can't tell. And so far, there it is. Just gets it up. He gets it into that loose stuff that's not slicked off. And around he goes here on lap number 9. Again, that will stop the laps from counting. Caution laps not counting here tonight as we're on lap number 9 of 40. And Christopher Carmen going to fall back just a little bit. As again, we'll check in and see how everything is going to go and all it's going to shake out. We're still having a little bit of an issue with the scoring tower there, not wanting to give us the correct information, as now it looks like it's going to sort itself out. Right now, Colton Krabaski still out front leading this race, so we'll see if he can hang on to it. The 2, of course, going to be back a little bit further, with that being the Payne. Payne's going to be back in the 3rd instead of 2nd as he lost 1 spot to the 15 of Tanner Folds. As we're about to see if he can get by that 77 machine. Nobody's really been able to get by him since he took the lead. Will this be Tanner Folds' time to try to do it on the outside here for the restart to start lap number 10? And we're getting ready again. A green flag going to be coming out this time. Green is out, and we are racing. So let us know on social media who is your pick for tonight's race win. As we got one going upside down, and not sure who that was. I believe that there's right there the tall tail missing the hood. That is going to be Solman that goes upside down. Let's take a look and see what happened to him. Is right after we take the green. Now, the hood was already off on that machine anyway, so he was getting good airflow to the radiator. We'll see what happened, though, but I'm pretty sure it was him that went for a violent ride right there. No, sorry, that was the 22. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. So we assumed it was him, but it was actually the 22 of Drew Phillips. So we'll take one more look at this and see what happened. Drew Phillips going for a violent ride here on the restart of this race. The question is, what happened and who hit him, or did he hit anybody? There's a little contact right there with the 121, and away he goes, barrel rolling violently in the turn, and that will do it for that car. We'll see if he's able to make it back onto the track. As a heavy contact for him as we go back to the front. Colton Krabaski still leading this race, as we'll see if he is able to maintain it here for a few more laps. 40 laps the distance. We've only completed 9. Going to be 10 when we get to the line. Racing green again. So caution laps building up here, even though they're not counted. We'll take a look and see if we can still tally those up as one caution lap. So the caution laps technically not counting. We've had probably about 8 or 9 laps of caution lap, even though they haven't racked up into there because caution laps are no longer counting. The green flag is going to come back out as we are racing. Colton Krabaski still out front leading this thing, as he's going to have Tanner Folds and Kenneth Payne behind him. And it looks like Michael Swank going to get a shot in the shorts from the 85 machine. We'll see. That is Joey Dominguez as he gives that 27 a nice little shot, and the caution comes out one more time. And not sure what the caution being for, as we don't see anybody turned around on the track. We'll get back up to your race leader again. This is good news if you're anybody behind the leader. These laps not counting gives you that time to regroup and try it again. If you're the leader, this is bad news for you because those laps are not counting. They have those laps that normally would have been taken up by the caution to try to make a run and get by you in this race. And we did get a note from the race control here. They are clearing all meatballs here tonight. So if you get a meatball, meaning your car is too damaged to go, they are leaving it up to driver's discretion like you would in a real race, unless it's too severe to make that call, and they're going to let them stay out on the track. All right, we are just about set to go racing one more time. We'll see again how this one's going to work out for everybody as we are 11 laps in. Going to be starting lap number 12 when we take the green. And again, note that with the caution laps not counting, and there we go, lap 12. In the event we have a caution come out, like right now, as you see the two of Colton Payne take the lead. If a caution was to come out before we complete this lap, as we just did, Colton would go back to the front. Kenneth Payne would have had to give that spot back. That's not what happened, so he will have that officially now. Kenneth Payne out front, followed by Michael Swank, and just like that, things change. Caution comes out again. Let's go back and take a look. It's going to be Tanner Folds, who was up front a second ago. Well, let's take a look and see what happened. Caution coming out for Tanner Folds as he gets a shot from the 3 there, and he keeps it going. This time the 85, giving him a little bit more of a shot, gets collected with the 3 and the 13, and those 3 go around, and that will bring out the caution one more time as we go back to the front of the field. Going to be interesting again to see how this one does play out. Who's going to be your race leader when it's all said and done? As Kenneth Payne out front here once again, he's led 2 laps. He was your pole sitter here tonight. He led, well, roughly 0 laps before the 77 got it. The 77 going to be starting on the outside pole, as that's where he was when the caution officially came out. So he got that spot back. We'll see if he is able to get back by the leader. He had a fast, dominant car here for the first 12 laps or so, about 10 laps really, and then has since kind of fallen apart and allowed the 2 to get back by him. And we'll see if he's able to get back by him here as we'll go racing to start lap 14. We'll have 27 laps to go for your A main event here in just about probably 40 seconds, maybe less than that, before we get that green flag. Racing is beginning once again. Green flag is in the air. Again, you're watching the Mud Rebels Dirt League. 4 cylinders, caution is out. And this time it looks like, again, we don't see anybody off pace. We'll stay up with your race leader. But again, caution out once again on the track. Quickly coming out. Pace truck jumping the wall to get back onto the track as quickly as he can. And that is unfortunate. Caution coming out says we didn't even really complete a lap, as we're now going to be on lap number 14 with 27 laps to go. It'll be 26 to go when we take the green here at Lanier National Speedway, a short little track. And it is showing its roots here and why short track racing breeds cautions. We've had 6 cautions here tonight. Given the caution laps not counting 2 different lead changes, We'll just have to keep an eye on everything here tonight. Your two leaders have been the 2 and the 77. They're both up front right now on the inside and outside. Your leader currently the number 2 of Kenneth Payne. The 77 of Colton Krapowski still in that outside rowing spot, number 2. We'll see if he has enough to get by and to take the win back here in the next 26 laps is what he's going to have when we take the green again. All right, pace truck ties off. Green flag is back in the air. We are racing one more time. Just to note here as we watch the battle for the lead, is we have Iro Sullivan out, Knowles is out, Phillips and Masick Jr. are out of the race. Gary Smith in the 31. He is still in the pits. He's not technically listed as out of the race. We'll see if that changes here in the next little bit. He's going to try to get some damage repaired. Get as many points as he can as it's Payne out front in that number 2. The 77 of Colton Krapowski in the 77 in second position. Michael Swank in the 27 machine in second. And he's got a good run. Or sorry, third. He's got a good run on second. See if he can reel him in and make that pass and complete a lap before the caution. And maybe he comes out one more time. We'll see. We have 23 laps to go here in your A main event. As that 27 machine taking a little bit high compared to the 85, but not so much compared to the 77. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in. Kicking off iRacing Live. Here for the first time. Absolutely stoked to be on there. We hope you're having a great time enjoying the race here, whether you're on iRacing Live, YouTube, or Facebook here tonight. Kenneth Payne is still out front. Again, it's been all about Payne and Krapowski here tonight, as Colton and Krapowski had the lead for a huge chunk as the caution comes out with 20 to go. And it's going to be Devin Thompson that is backwards on the track. So let's take a quick look and see what happened to him in that another 3D machine. We'll call him the 3. What happens is he goes backwards on the track, facing the wrong direction. And looks like the car does not want to turn properly as he goes into the corner. And oh my goodness, right there in the track. I believe that's going to be the 13 of Caleb Ramsey. It is that he gets hard into, and that's going to, of course, bring out the caution one more time. We'll see if it's going to stay that way. Will we see another caution or two, or will we go green flag racing the rest of the way? Again, that's one of those things only time will tell. Kenneth Payne going to still be out front leading this race. Going to be 19 laps to go, less than 20 to go when we take the green here for the next time at Lanier National Speedway here on iRacing for the Bud Devils Dirt League here live on LSR TV. Sun is shining down on the track as the pace car, or in this case truck, dives off. Green flag is out and we are racing one more time. We'll see. A little car is getting a little sideways here. So they're going to go 3-4 wide, beating and banging going on. Ed Livingston up front. He is doing good in the 6th position, but the caution going to come out for intervals in the 15. Let's go back and see what happened. Tanner Folds in the 15 going around here tonight. As we'll pull up your driver bar here and see what happened. Again, Tanner Folds in that 15 machine started 5th. He's in 13th, 14th now. Right there, just a typical not enough real estate for all these drivers. And it's hard to drive down there. It's where it's not quite slicked off either. So, again, not enough real estate for these guys to keep going where they want to go. And in this case, it is going to be the 15 going around. And meanwhile, during all of that on the restart, the 77 was able to get back to the front of Colton Krapowski. So he gets back to the front. Again, it's all about where you were when the lap was completed. He snuck by on the restart amongst all that confusion that was going on. And that's going to set that 2 of Kenneth Payne back 1 spot. So now it's up to Kenneth Payne to get by with 19 to go. We'll see how many in interstate synthetic cautions we've had. 8 different cautions, 2 different lead changes. And again, those only lead changes have been completed by the 77 of Krapowski and the 2 of Payne. Those have been the only 2 leaders here tonight for the MRDL race at Lanier on iRacing. We'll just have to keep an eye and see if maybe that 51 to 27 or could it be someone else going to be sneaking through this field to try to make something happen. Could it be Ed Livingston back there in the 46 machine as he's kind of slowly but steadily snuck his way in here. And there goes the 2 for a ride. He's going to drop like a rock. That is Kenneth Payne. He's backwards on the track. And caution will wave quickly again here tonight. Let's go back and take a look. And this may put us into single file restarts here tonight. We'll see what happened is just as we were talking about somebody moving up who's been a little further back. Now we're talking about someone who's been up front going to the back now as just gets railroaded there and gets slammed into hard. And that's going to push him all the way to the back. He'll be in about, we'll see, I'm not sure. It's cycling out here at the moment. We'll see. Again, the rule is if you're in the top 5 and you get taken out by a lap car, you get your spot back. That was not the case here, as this is going to move Ed Livingston into the 4th position, and the number 46 machine got a little bit of damage on it, but still running smooth out on the track. We'll see if he can hang on to it again. 18 laps to go. We only got 1 more lap in the books from that caution, and as I predicted here, due to back-to-back cautions, single file restart here for tonight. We'll see if we can get some green flag laps in before the next caution. We will go back to double file, but for this time it's going to be single. Here comes that 21 and the 28. They're going to come to the inside of Ed Livingston in that 46 machine. He's going to hold them off at least for this lap. Ed smacking that outside wall just a little bit. The 21. 121. No, it is the 21 of Ryan Nuss. Going to try to sneak it to the inside. There's 2 cars, a 21 and a 121. They look basically identical on the track, making it very difficult to tell them apart. As they're both white, pretty much all white with some stickers on them. The 121 is there. We got a battle going on, possibly for the lead. We'll see. We're right now Eric York in the 89 being scored as the leader. I'm not sure that is correct. It should be Michael Swank in the 27 machine as he is battling there. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. But again, the leader should be the 27 machine, and there it is, Michael Swank, your race leader. So the scoring tower going a little wonky here tonight as a new leader. Michael Swank is your race leader. It took him a while to get there, but he is now there. We go back just a little bit as we got heavy racing back here between Livingston, Fields, Nuss, Wells, Dominguez, as this ought to be a good battle going on. Jacob Fields versus Eddie Livingston, and it's going to get interesting as Eddie almost clips the back bumper of that 28 machine of Fields. Fields and Livingston going back and forth. Here comes the 21 of Ryan Nuss. He's going to get into the mix as well. We are keeping a close eye on the front now as the 77 takes the lead back one more time. Michael Swank trying to get the lead. Again, back and forth has pretty much been the theme here. Other than the cautions, we have now coming up on 10 laps to go. Lap car going to the high side. Lap car goes around. The caution is out. And that is going to be Christopher Carmen in the 3D. We'll see just how close this was to your race leaders as they were catching him already. And the 3D of Christopher Carmen goes around right in front of him. We'll take a look and see. And so we'll go up to the aerial view brought to you by All American Pools. And wasn't quite as close as we looked. Maybe second place a little bit closer than first. And there goes the field trying to scatter around him. As we go back to our main, getting back to live, and definitely been a good race, and it looks like Ed Livingston's going to pull it to the infield. Not sure what prompted him to have to go to the infield, but that is where he's going to go, as he was not involved in that last caution, but unfortunately going to have to tow after getting to the infield. Wasn't able to cut through that invisible wall, so he is going to have to go ahead and tow, and that will put him being scored currently. Let's see where we're scoring him, if we can get him, and somewhere around 15th position is where he's going to be, as he is in the pits here at the moment. Colton Krapaski out front, followed by Michael Swank. Brian Johnson is your top three, at least that is how it's looking here. Again, the scoring tower going a little wonky on us here tonight. We'll see how it all plays out for that 77 and the 27, their biggest contender here that was there. That is going to be Kenneth Payne in the number 2, sitting somewhere around 10th position. Green flag is out, and we are racing 10 laps to go for Colton Krapaski. See if he can hang on to the race lead. Michael Swank won his B main. He has been so fast. He's led several laps here tonight as well. The lights are on these cars as they are going into the sunset here at Lanier. Jacob Fields still has his hands full in that 28 machine with Joey Dominguez, Ryan Nuss, Brian Johnson. Pretty much all these guys right here together putting on a good little battle for what would be 3rd and 4th position. And a little bit of contact going to be made. That's going to slide the 21 way up the track. He's going to have to let off the gas to not get into the loose stuff where he just has no grip, in the caution will be out one more time. This time for David Kleiner in that 33 machine. Take a look and see what brought him out. Hard contact right there between the 33 and the 15. That didn't bring out the caution. The 2 cars back here with the 51 as well. And right there, the 51 gives him a shot to the back bumper. That is Bryson Banks in the 51, and it takes the 20 or the 33 and says, I'm going to give you a shot to short, spin you around, and we're going to bring out the caution one more time with 8 to go. All right, we should be set to take the flag one more time. We'll see. Will this be the final green flag of the night? Time will tell. We want to again things are wrapping up here, getting close to the post-race show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight as the green flag does come out. It's going to be the 77 of Krupowski out front, followed by Swank, Fields, Nuss, and Dominguez are going to be your top 5 with 7 laps to go. As we go down the backstretch, a single file restart here as Swank trying to do everything he can to get by that 27 machine. And unfortunately, some of our drivers that were up front earlier have been shuffled to the back. As we'll look and see, Livingston was up there a little while ago, and he got shuffled back, and I don't see him. There he is, back in 14th position, 5 laps down. It's unfortunate for him. Fields on the move, though. He's got company from that 21 machine of Ryan Nuss. Nuss trying to get by him as Fields doing everything in his power to hang on, as Nuss going to get into the outside wall, and that's going to cause him a little bit of damage. And he's going to keep going. The front of that car looks like it's been into the back bumper of a few other people here tonight. We'll go back to the front, the 77, not showing any signs of slowing down. Caution is out with 4 to go. And this time it's going to be for Kenneth Payne in that 2, who is just a night turned upside down after the first caution. It just hasn't gone his way after that, as he's back here battling with the 85, and it looks like somebody's going to get into him, and around he goes, bringing out the caution once again. Unfortunate for him, it just has not been his night in the second half of this race. The first half, he was up front doing good. Second half, it's been Heartbreak Hotel for that 2 machine of Kenneth Payne, as he again first caution, and they have just piled on here in the second half of this race. Going to be 3 laps to go as the pace truck will dive off this next time by. Single file restart once again, as we'll see, and actually I say that the lights are on, so the pace truck not going off, but we will have a 3-lap shootout to the end of this race. And it's right now your top 5 do belong to Kaspersky. Swank, Fields, Nuss, and Wells are your top 5 drivers here at the moment, according to the scoring tower. And again, the scoring tower going a little wonky here tonight, so don't regard the 2 as being the race leader. That is not correct. That is, again, not the correct order. 4 things is it's going a little wonky here tonight. Scoring tower people possibly going to get fired and rehire some new ones. We'll see. The 77 out front as the green flag drops here with 3 laps to go. Is Swank got anything for that front runner of Krupowski here tonight? We'll see. Is that Jacob Fields hanging on to 3rd place, trying to get 2nd place away with 2 to go. Colton Krupowski out front, leading this race as he's going to come by and get the 1 to go. This is, of course, your Eco 1 to go. At the white flag in the air here on LSR TV for the Mud Rebels Dirt League. It's Colton Krupowski out front, and we'll be talking to those top 3 here in a minute. Your race winner going to be that number 77 machine here tonight. Rounding out your top 3 is going to be Michael Swank and Jacob Fields. And just to run through the rest of your field here quickly tonight before the post-race show, of course, going to be Grayson Wells, Joey Dominguez, Tanner Folds, Ryan Nuss, David Kleiner, Brian Johnson, and Bryson Banks are going to be rounding out your top 10 here tonight. 11th through 23rd will be then the following. In this order will be Andrew Christensen, Kenneth Payne, Eric York, Eddie Livingston, Christopher Cartman, David Knowles, Travis Olson, Kevin Thompson, Caleb Ramsey, Iro Solomon, Drew Phillips, Gary Smith, and Stephen Masick Jr. rounding out 23rd here tonight. that will do it for your racing action. But we're not done here just yet. We need to talk to the top three drivers here tonight. Let's jump on over. We'll catch up to them in victory lane and get the other two up here in the booth with us to chat with your top three here in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with your post-race show. And unfortunately, we do not have third place Jacob Fields here with us, driver that number 28, but I'm sure he had a blast here tonight, finishing in third. So we will jump right into second place. That is going to be Michael Swink here tonight. Michael, you finish in the second position. We kind of talked to you earlier in the week. Got a new paint job on the ride. Do you think the new paint helped you get that second place finish with the, of course, the new paint speed edition?
Sometimes it's just better to be lucky than good, but I'll definitely take a second place any time of the week. And this is my second league race, so Colton actually made my RAV for me, so shout out to him. It looks beautiful, and yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, it definitely was a blast out there for the second week of these things racing. Absolutely a blast. We talk about 23 drivers started this race. Of course, we didn't finish all 23 with new faces every single week. We talk about to drivers, the strength of field and how it is, but other than the strength field, to always see new drivers coming in, does it make it a little bit more fun as well, just because you don't know who you're going to be racing from week to week?
Yeah, it makes it a lot of fun, and these cars are so new to iRacing, and everybody's just kind of getting used to them. So it kind of levels out the playing field with for everybody, and it makes it good side to side racing for most of the time.
It definitely is some fun side by side, and even three in a week we saw four wide at one point here. Just to poke that information out there a little bit. If this car, an actual similar USRA tuner style car, was to come to iRacing in the future, would you dump these cars and go to that, or would you stick with these?
I guess it just all depends on kind of how the flow goes with what gets popular, and you know, I, if they made both leagues, then I probably would race both of them because these cars are a ton of fun. So.
Oh, they're fun to watch. They're fun to race. And notice, none of this becomes fun and all that unless you have some sponsors. And shout out to but you got to thank for helping you do what you do. Any of those you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Colton for the beautiful rap and racing me clean. It was a bunch of fun trading with him, and I got to thank Drew Phillips for this league and Tanner Tomasi, BJ. It's a great time to come out and race with these guys.
Well, definitely a great time to watch and to call it as well. And congrats on the second place finish. And the guy that painted the car, he almost had to let him win. He painted his car. He made it look beautiful. It was it was saying thank you. He let him have the win, but he did not let him have it. He fought for it. That is going to be your race winner, Colton Stefanski. You get it in victory lane here. You're getting to hang out with the trophy girls. You got the chicken dinner. Anything else you want there in victory lane?
Uh, Probably enough money to go race these kind of cars in real life. you know, God, man, this was a fun race. Me and Swank and Brian Johnson, we were all hanging out in Discord, just talking and just hanging out and having a good time on a Wednesday night. So that's pretty much all I got to say when it comes to what all went on in the race, except made a few mistakes that cost me the lead, especially when Kenneth got by me that one time, and just told myself we had to nail them restarts um, and all that. Just I lost my train of thought now. It's just this whole league's fun, man. I mean, this is my first time coming back since UMP Modifieds ran at Lernerville, and that was a long time ago. So um, glad they start coming back to the series and ended it on a high note. I don't know if I'll be able to race next week because I'll be out of town for spring break, but I don't know. It's been a pretty fun night, guaranteed that.
It definitely has a lot of new faces here tonight. It's always good to see the regulars show up, but it's always good to see the new blood show up here as well. Again, making you return kind of here, been away from a while. It's this just that sums it up. This is a fun series to go. You know, other than these cars, I don't know what's been this much fun on iRacing in quite some time. Again, and to kind of flip it over, talk a little bit about the race itself and how that track was going. Typically, we ask how the track was handling. This track is completely slicked off at 100%. So, is there anywhere on this track after it's already at 100, or is it, just there and it's done?
It's pretty much just these cars. For some odd reason, I don't understand the mechanism of it yet. Mechanism ain't that a word? But they got us where you run in the slick. You got a bunch of grip up until near the end. That's why we were able to run probably as quick times as running the UMP modified on a regular good track. Is these just you were holding it left the whole entire time. I never had the wheel straight. It was either like 90 degrees left to like 180 degrees to the left. I mean, like it was crazy. But these were super fun to drive. They have a bunch of grip when it comes to when the track is so slicked off. That's why we did it. But once you run out of that slick, you're in no man's land. Your car wants to be all over the place. These cars aren't really meant for the dirt, but yeah, we can make these cars work somehow. But like I said, it was hard to pass. I'm surprised how I got by Kenneth. Obviously, some beating and banging had to go on, just like real sport compact racing. It's Swank there. I didn't really see him at all. I don't run a mirror when I run dirt series. So every time he got below me, he would yell, "I'm below you," and I'd end up chopping his nose off. But the competition at tonight was pretty good. Other than all the cautions, if it ran green a lot more, I think we would have had a great show, or an even greater show, I should say.
Definitely a few more cautions than anybody wanted to see, but when it was racing, it was some good racing. And of course, nobody gets here without some sponsors and shout outs that they kind of think. So, who would those be for the win here tonight?
Highland Ridge Farm and Trucking, Highland Ridge Aviation, Sapansky Racing Graphics, obviously, um, Tanner DeMasi and William Duvall for the league, and Drew Phillips for also coming up with the idea for the sport compacts. Um, Swank for being an awesome guy, and same thing with Kenneth for every time I got into him, they wouldn't get all pissed off, and it's just there's so many people when it comes to Victory Lane and in an interview and all, and just getting to where you were. I mean, and iRacing for the great service and allowing us to do some fun things like this. I mean, um, I don't know. It's just what a night. Am I right?
Yes, it was a great night. We look forward to coming back. Here we got about 4 more races, I do believe. That being said, we do have some more racing coming up this week. as we've got racing on Thursday night for the Northwest Truck Series at Daytona. And of course, this Saturday and Sunday, we have events going on. Make sure you check Facebook and YouTube for all of those postings and news articles. And on behalf of myself, the top three we got to talk to, all the drivers, the crew that make all of this happen here at the Mud Rebels Dirt League. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow night.